Yeah, it's getting pretty extreme. I'll be real. I'll be real with you. It's getting pretty extreme. Bank has been frozen. So if Chelsea want to pull out one kobo, just one measly kobo from the bank, and Barclays will be like, "You can't see me. The time is now. You can't see me. You got sanctioned now." So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Bank accounts are frozen, but the government is still trying to allow Chelsea to do and operate as best as they can under the current circumstances with Abramovich. So Triviago are still saying what's up with Chelsea, and latest news is Nike are also still saying what's up with Chelsea. So Nike have still stood by, but three said we're out. But who actually uses three? This is a situation where, because I think we live in a very reactionary society where any piece of news people just want to rush into the extreme. Oh, Chelsea issues. Oh, Chelsea finished. They'll go bust. They'll be in Division 3. They'll become London Blues. Everybody wants to go to that end goal and extreme rather than relax, chill out, and think. Just relax, chill, and think. The UK government doesn't want Chelsea to go bust. Also, I just read something from Sadiq Khan. He's the mayor of London and said that Chelsea is one of the biggest clubs in the world and a very important brand to the city of London, which is really one of the main cities in England. So the UK government doesn't want Chelsea to go bust or go under, but we're in a very interesting situation because if Abramovich remains firm and refuses to allow the club to be sold, which is in his right, refuses to allow it to be sold, because I think the only way that anything can happen is Abramovich has to just say, okay, I agree for it to be sold and I don't get any money. But if and it is in his legal rights, you have to understand this. It is it is the government's legal right to freeze his assets. It's Abramovich's legal right to be like, I still own it. So I don't have to now agree to a sale that's not on my terms. But if he does so, this is what's going to happen. So it's a game of poker. Who's going to flinch first? You know, and this is an interesting angle because I was talking to Nix about this, on a group chat. Nix made a very interesting point. Chelsea fans are right now, Abramovich. But do they realize what the situation is? Because when will Chelsea fans now start to put pressure on Abramovich? Say, Abramovich, you have to sell this right now. Because Chelsea fans, the reality is, you could be like, oh, this is the UK's against us, but the reality is, because I'm on about the reality. I subscribe to reality, not to Disney Plus. The reality is, if Abramovich doesn't agree to sell for nothing, Chelsea could probably get destroyed. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but that is the game of poker. You go, I don't want to play towards Abramovich of like, if you don't agree to sell, we're going to go all the way here. And I don't think the district government is going to flinch because, as important as Chelsea is, there's a much more important situation occurring, which is a sanctioned war between Europe and Russia, which is a lot bigger than any fishnet ball. So, when will Chelsea fans put pressure on Abramovich to be like, Abramovich, you've lost. You can't win this. You've got to now sell under the terms of this government dudes. We'll continue assessing the situation.